So now we're going to talk about the speakers themselves. For the speakers, I decided to go with Triad's in-wall 6 LCRs. Triad is a fantastic speaker company. They custom build your speakers as you order them, and they test them heavily before they actually send them out to you. So they have a couple of different lines, but the lines I'm familiar with are I think they have the cinema line, the gold line, the silver line, and then the bronze line. And I chose the silver line because I felt they sounded fantastic. I actually got the opportunity to go to CEDIA one year to hear them, and I liked the way that they sounded. And then I went with the bronze series for my Atmos heights. And together they work fantastically. So I've got the Triad Silver in-wall 6 LCRs in the front wall behind the screen. I've got, and one thing they do have, they have 2 6.5-inch drivers, as well as a 1-inch tweeter. For the right side and rear surrounds, I've got the Triad in-wall 4 surround speaker. Great thing about the 4 surround is it's got that kind of bipole tweeter going on there. And this is the left side and rear surrounds. And you're getting a close look in the ceiling. That's a subwoofer up there. We'll talk a little bit about that shortly too. And then the rear surrounds are the silver in-wall 4 surrounds also. So this is a close-up look of what the speaker looks like. And it has a 6.5-inch driver with 2 4.5-inch tweeters, bipole tweeters. So you're covered when it comes to sound dispersion. It sounds fantastic in all areas around that seating position. It's just great. Now for the Atmos heights, I've got the Triad Bronze in ceiling 8 LCRs. And you can see the fronts here, and the rears are back there. And they have 2 5.5-inch drivers with a 1-inch tweeter. And this is the 8 LCR in the front of the room. This is just one of them. There are 2, of course. And I've got another in the, well, 2 in the back. This is the one in the rear. Gives you a close look at it. And the great thing about the 8 LCR in-ceiling speakers is they have a natural baffle inside of it. So they built a baffle inside of the enclosure, and they made sure that it was angled down towards the listening position. So once again, the sound dispersion just sounds fantastic. It's actually a really, really cool feature and sounds great.
Yeah, this is such a great choice. Anybody looking for in-walls should look at Triad. I think they're the top of the line for in-walls. I've got the same silvers in my living room, and I've used some of the other surrounds as well before. Excellent.
And for those that haven't actually seen that video just yet, we actually did a episode on Jeremy's theater. Go and check it out. It's a fantastic video. We had a lot of fun doing it. And also on Techthusiasm, he talked a little bit about his theater as well there too. So you have 2 places where you can learn a little bit more about Jeremy's theater. So now what we're going to do is look at the subwoofers. So I've got 6 subwoofers throughout the room. 2 channels on my receiver, 2 sub-channels on my theater, but 6 subwoofers throughout. And the front wall has them down at the bottom near the stage area there. And you can also see the paneling we have going along the screen wall there too. Gives you a really good look at that also. But the subwoofers are Triad's Bronze in-wall 4 slim sub, and each of them have a 10-inch woofer. They go as deep as 22 hertz before they actually begin to fall off, and they sound fantastic. They're rated on the website at 35 hertz, and I think they were being conservative there. They wanted to make sure that, they wanted to control the expectations, but they perform deeper than that. So I'm getting some really nice deep tactile feedback from them. No, it's not in the single digits like a lot of people like, but it sounds fantastic. And then in combination with the bass transducers that I have going on in the seats, it's just freaking awesome. Just awesome. So these are the ones that we have going on in the front. I also have some in-ceiling subwoofers, and they are the Triad Bronze in-ceiling 10 sub. And once again, it has a 10-inch woofer. The reason I decided to do in-ceiling subs is because along the side wall where the rack is, there's a lot of wiring for the whole house automation, a lot of Cat 6 wires there, and all of that going on there. So I didn't want to put a subwoofer in that area there because there was already enough going on within the actual sidewalls and the studs and all of that. So putting it in the ceiling was the best option. And they still sound great. I don't get vibrations on my ceiling. I don't hear vibrations on the walls and all of that because we did our best to be able to control that. So they work fantastically.
You're on the second floor here too. So is it attic space up above you? You got plenty of access and no concerns.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that was the reason I wanted to make sure that I built my theater on the second floor. Now, for those who have to build their theaters in the basement or on the first floor, I understand that you have to do it for a number of purposes, actually, but it makes it more difficult upgrading your theater because you don't have access to easily be able to make transitions above in the ceiling space there because you have another floor above you.
Yep.
But if you put it on the second floor where there's an attic, you have easy access to be able to upgrade whatever it is you need. You can drop any lines you need to drop and add any additional equipment that you need to add for that reason. But very good point, Jeremy. Thank you for bringing that up. So this is a close-up look at the in-ceiling sub. And we chose not to use the metal grilles on the subwoofers as well as the bed speakers. Reason for that is because once you have deep tactile feedback, you do get a little bit of rattling from those metal grilles. So what we did is we built some fabric grilles and we put them over the speakers and subs. And what you're seeing there is how we were able to get the fabric on the ceiling. So I basically just stapled some Velcro up there and it's a pretty tight seal. Works great. This is how they look on the rear wall there. This is just another look at them from a different angle. And you're also getting a closer look at the rear surround there too.